Hey guys, alright, so you've already worked the ed puzzle. Now let's go over this worksheet real quick. If 6 moles of hydrogen react, how many moles of ammonia can be made? We have 6 is to 3, as we're looking at ammonia. 6 is to 3, as x is to 2. We just multiply 2 to 6, divide by 3, x is equal to 2 times 6 equals divided by 3. X is equal to 4 moles. Hopefully you guys see and understand how that works. Let's move on to question letter B. How many moles of nitrogen do you need to make 3.6 moles of ammonia? So how many moles of nitrogen do you need to make 3.6 moles of ammonia? Well, we just do this. We do 3.6 is to 2, right? 3.6 moles of ammonia, 2. 3.6 is to 2 as x, we're looking at nitrogen, as x is to 1. All right, and that means our x is going to equal 3.6 divided by 2. 1.8 moles. Letter D, if you use 4.7 moles of hydrogen, how many moles of nitrogen would you need? So 4.7 moles of hydrogen, so we'll just do this. 4.7 is to 3. How many moles of nitrogen? So 4.7 is to 3, as x is to 1. 4.7 divided by 3. That means our x is equal to 1.6. Moving on. Letter E, if 8 moles of nitrogen react, how many grams of ammonia can be made? If 8 moles of nitrogen react, how many grams of ammonia can be made? Let's set this up. 8 is to 1, as x is to 2. X is equal to 16 moles. But we're not done yet. We don't know how many grams of ammonia can be made. So we want to convert moles to grams. We just simply multiply 16 by the proper weight of ammonia. And the proper weight of ammonia is going to be 17. So 16 times 17. And that answer is going to give us the grams, 272 grams. All right, letter F. Here we go. How many moles of nitrogen do you need to make 78 grams of ammonia? How many moles of nitrogen do you need to make 78 grams of ammonia? We need to convert the grams. We need to convert the grams to moles. So to do that, we use 78 over 1 times 1 over, what's the proper weight of ammonia? 17. So 78 divided by 17 equals this number right here. We are not going to simplify or round that up just yet, but I'm going to write it down as it's rounded up, but just keep it in your calculator for right now. All right, so that's 4.6. We want to say okay, so yeah, let me just clarify. Do not round this number just yet. Just keep it in your calculator like this. I'm simply writing it right here to just show like how it's working. Okay. 4.6 is to 2, right? Because we're dealing with ammonia. So let me show you. 4.6 is to 2. 4.6 is to 2 as how many moles of nitrogen as x is to 1. Oh. Okay, sorry about. Oh. All right. Sorry about that, guys. A little malfunction over here, but we're good. Okay, so 4.6 is to 2, but we're really doing 4.588, all right? So we're going to divide that. That divided by 2 is going to give us our x. Our x is equal to 2.3 3 moles. And that's how many moles of nitrogen we need to make 78 grams of ammonia. Quickly moving on, how many grams of nitrogen do you need to make 78 moles of ammonia? Okay, so let's find out how many moles of nitrogen we're going to make first. So 78 is to 2 as x is to 1. That means our x is equal to 78 divided by 2. 78 divided by 2. X is equal to 39 moles. So we need 39 moles of nitrogen, but we want to know what that is in grams, right? So we just simply do 39 times N2, and our N2 is going to be 24, or 28, excuse me. 28. 1,092 grams. 1,092 grams of nitrogen gas. You move that? Yeah. That is quite a lot. If you use 45 grams of hydrogen, how many moles of ammonia can you make? If you use 45 grams of hydrogen, 45 over 1, we're converting this to moles, 45 over 1 times 1 over hydrogen is H2, and H, proper weight is 1, so H2, proper weight is 2, so 45 divided by 2 is 22.5. How many moles of ammonia can we make? Okay, so now we have 22.5 is to 3, right? Because we're looking at hydrogen. So 22.5 is to 3 as x is to 2. All right, so now we just simply solve this. So we're going to multiply by 2. So we're going to get 45 over 3 equals x, which means finally we come to x equaling 15 moles. And that is your answers right there for the front half. All right, I'm going to go ahead and circle them real quick. Okay, let's move on to the back. It's the exact same equation, we're just doing some different problems. Okay, here we go. If 6 moles of hydrogen react, how many molecules of ammonia can be made? Aha, this might seem a little tricky at first, but it's actually sort of what we've been doing this entire time, and I'll show you why. 6 moles of hydrogen react, okay. And we're looking for ammonia, okay. So 6 is to 3 as x is to 2. That means our x is equal to 4 moles. Okay, now we want to know how many molecules of ammonia can be made. Well, we all know that the proper number of molecules in a mole is 6.02 times 10 to the 23. So, since we have 4 moles of ammonia, we're just quite simply going to multiply 4 times 6.02 times 10 to the 23, and that is going to give you 4 times 6.02 EE23. It's going to give you 2.4 times 10 to the 24th. You guys see how that works? Molecules. All right, let's go through these last problems. Here we go. How many molecules of nitrogen do you need to make 3.6 moles of ammonia? Let's do this. 3.6 is to 2 as x is to 1. X is equal to 1.8 moles. We're going to do 1.8 times 6.02 times 10 to the 23. And that's going to give us 1.8 times 6.02 EE23. 1.1 times 10 to the 24th. Cool. Next problem. If you use 4.7 moles of nitrogen, how many molecules of hydrogen would you need? 4.7 is to 1, as X is to 3. X is equal to, we're going to do 4.7 times 3. It'll give us 14.1 moles. And we just want this to be in molecules, so we're doing 14.1 times 6.02 times 10 to the 23. Right? Okay, so that times 6.02 EE 23. That's going to give us 8.5 times 10 to the 24 molecules. And this right here is also molecules. Excuse me. If you use 4.7 grams of hydrogen, how many molecules of nitrogen would you need? Let's do 4.7 over 1. We want to convert this grams into moles, so 4.7 over 1 times 1 over, we're looking at hydrogen. Hydrogen is H2. H2 is 2. So 4.7 over 1 times 1 over 2. We're going to just do this. 4.7 divided by 2 equals 2.35. Now, how many molecules of nitrogen would you need? We're going to do 2.35 is to 3, as X is to 1. So 2.35 divided by 3 equals, keep this in your calculator, don't clear it out, don't round up just yet, but I'm going to write it down as if it was rounded, 0.78. That's how many moles of nitrogen we would have, and now we want to know how many molecules. So we multiply 0.78 times 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd, and that is going to equal 4.7 times 10 to the 23 molecules. I realize I'm writing off the edge. Okay. Molecules. All right, hopefully you guys saw that, but essentially what I did is I found the moles of nitrogen we had, and then I multiplied the moles by the proper number of molecules in nitrogen, and we get 4.7 times 10 to the 23. Cool, let's go on to the next one. If 8 grams of nitrogen react, how many molecules of ammonia? So we're going to do 8 over 1 times 1 over, what's the proper weight? That's 28 equals, do 8 divided by 28. So don't clear this out. Just keep this in your calculator. 0 to 9. All right, so now we want to say 0.29 is to 1, as X is to 2. Okay, so we just simply want to find our X, we're going to just multiply this entire value by 2. So multiplied by 2. We're going to get 0.57. Don't clear it out. We're just going to round it up for simplicity. So 0.57 moles. And now we want to know molecules. We just multiply this by 6.02. EE23. So 0.57 times 6.02 times 10 to the 23 is going to equal 3.44 times 10 to the 23 molecules. Last problem, here we go. How many molecules of nitrogen do you need to make 78 grams of ammonia? How many molecules of nitrogen do you need to make 78 grams of ammonia? First, let's convert grams to moles of ammonia. So let's do this. 78 over 1 times 1 over, what's the proper weight of ammonia? 17. So 78 divided by 17 equals 4.59. Don't clear this out. Leave it in your calculator. this, we're going to do 4.59 is to 2 as x is to 1. Our x is equal to 4.59, that value divided by 2. 2.29. We're just going to multiply this whole thing by 6.02 because it's asking for it. This right here is the moles of nitrogen from 78 grams of ammonia. So this is the moles of nitrogen. And we're just looking for the molecules, so we just multiply. We just quickly multiply by 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. And our answer is 1.4 times 10 to the 24. 1.4 times 10 to the 24 molecules. All right, that's it. Go back and rewatch anything you don't understand, and have a good day.